issues with our plane getting delayed and stuff like that. But here, thanks for showing up, guys. The guy standing next to me in the black jacket is our new Lieutenant Governor, Raymond Ritchie. We both stand strong against crime. That's one of our big things. And
Arlington, Texas. Today marks a pivotal moment in not just our lives, but in the future of our great state. I am deeply honored and humbled to stand before you as a newly appointed Lieutenant Governor of the state of Texas. With this honor comes a profound responsibility to serve each and every Texan with unwavering dedication and integrity. However, as we celebrate this moment, we must the Angels of Death Motorcycle Club. For too long, they have operated with impurity, spreading fear and chaos wherever they go. Their presence has cast a shadow over our streets, endangering our families and disrupting the peace we hold dear. But let me be clear, their reign of terror ends now. As the Lieutenant Governor, I vow to work tirelessly along law enforcement agencies and community leaders to dismantle this criminal organization, as well Motorcycle Club is brought to justice, and every neighborhood is free from their group of.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Enhancing community outreach programs and implementing strict legal measures to ensure that our streets are safe for all of our citizens. We stand united against those who speak to sound of vision and violence in our communities. Together, we build a state of Texas where safety, justice, and opportunity prevail over criminality.
Yeah.
And then he repeated himself.
A Texas where a
times.
child can play in the
What's
streets
the
without
point?
fear. A Texas where families can thrive without the shadows of criminality looming over their lives. I'm grateful for the trust you have placed in me, and I cannot wait to see how these years go by. And I promise to honor that by fighting tirelessly on behalf of each.
Okay, well he got one OC warning and now he's getting
And
another.
then he said, but all right.
He wanted to continue going.
Thank you and God bless you.
thank you, Raymond. One thing I want to address is, again,
I'm gonna get closer to the microphone and everybody. Alright, everybody, you can take a couple steps forward. We gotta do away with the megaphones, I apologize.
The megaphone can still be used. It's only a select few that can hear statewide.
Okay.
Continue as you were, sir.
Go ahead.
I can use the megaphone? Yes, sir.
If you so wish, yes.
Okay.
again, thank you guys for showing up. Raymond is going to be a big help in what we want to accomplish for the state of Texas. But today I address you with heavy heart and a steadfast determination. Our beloved state faces a threat unlike any other. The Angels of Death, these criminals have inflicted terror upon our communities, wreaking havoc not only on our citizens, but also on our small businesses, fire departments, and law enforcement agencies. The Angels of Death are not angels at all, but instead heartless perpetrators who prey on our neighborhoods and disrupt the peace we hold dear. They strike fear into the hearts of innocent Texans, threatening the very fabric of our society. To our law enforcement officers and firefighters who strongly stand against this menace, your bravery and commitment do not go unnoticed. You are the frontline defenders in our battle against these forces of darkness. Together, we will not falter.
Did I
We will
seriously
not
just fucking
yield.
crash?
To the small business owners who have been targeted, I hear you. I understand the pain and uncertainty you face. Know that we are working tirelessly to ensure your safety and the security But let me be clear to all of you. And we will bring them to justice swiftly and decisively. We will utilize every resource at our disposal to protect our communities and ensure that every Texan can live without fear. But we cannot do this alone. We need your cooperation. If you see something, hear something, say something. It is the only way that we can truly restore peace in our communities. Together, we will restore peace and security to every corner of the state of Texas. Let us stand united against those who seek to divide us. You know, it was interesting. There's a lady, I can't say her name, but there's a lady that has been tortured, hurt, and almost killed by angels of death. Over and over and over again. She has to live her life in fear every day. I can't go into the details about the case, but it is quite disheartening that people can't go their everyday lives without thinking that someone on a motorcycle is going to come by and shoot at them or kill them or injure their family or their loved ones. I see Devil's Disciple standing over there. I made a terrible comment about the organization that I do deeply regret. The organization is nothing like Angels of Death. They don't go around striking fear into people who just try to go to work, who try to get home from work, or who are just going out on a joyride. These individuals are great individuals. I met with them, plan to meet with them some more, but they are nothing like Angels of Death. If you see them around, ask them how they're doing. They're not going to shoot you. You can show up to, their businesses that they may own. They're not going to strike fear into you. You can't even show up to the Yellow Jack without thinking that maybe someone in there is going to shoot you. I know my office. I tried to go there the other day. We showed up. We were surrounded when we were in the building trying to order a drink. While we were trying to order a drink, someone blocked the entrance with a van. These individuals will do anything to cause fear. All while escaping to the place that we thought was safe, they followed. They brutally murdered security agents.
Hey, Brooke, are you in server?
Mm-hmm.
And then they decided to charge me $1,200 for some whiskey that I didn't even take a sip of.
Yeah, give me a second.
They're corrupt,
Oh, I got it.
and we will not stand for it. Now at this time, I'm open to taking questions. If anyone has any questions, I'm not sure I'll be able to hear you. You might have to use a megaphone or use shouting or whatever.
Excuse me, Mr. Governor.
Yep.
You're speaking a lot on the Angels of Death. Do you plan on tackling other issues of violence in this community, whether that be other small-time gangs or things such as corrupt officers, things of that nature?
Yeah, so my office, we're always looking into gangs. There's a couple on our list. The Vagas are one for sure. The Moretti crime family is one of ours too. They seem to do stuff. I haven't heard any reports of them doing anything insane like Angels of Death. But yeah, we always got the gangs on our radars. And for your officer question, we'll let the Department of Justice take that. I
love
don't.
how they ran
I'm a
over
strong
him here
supporter on law
when I'm
enforcement, but
behind
I'm
a
also
wall
not
and
going to
couldn't see
interfere
me.
with,
Definitely not FOP.
investigations into, maybe corrupt law enforcement officers.
So, let me get this right. Your whole speech was about AOD, but then you only address other problems when they're brought to you. You don't have this prepared now. Like, what about some of the issues going on in Arlington? What about officer misconduct while upon scene? What about wrongful arrest? How about the Vagos? But you're strictly going against the Moretti crime family in AOD. Why is that? Why are we not addressing into the other problems that we currently face here in Arlington, Texas? Why are we only addressing those that are related to crime that affect law enforcement? Are you trying to protect law enforcement in a way that screws over civs, but law enforcement is just left to do what they want to do?
Well, like I said, most departments have their own internal investigations. We also, Department of Justice is a thing. You feel that, you were wrongfully arrested, you are more than welcome to take that and, take it to court. And, that's the only way that they can deal with corrupt officers is, something happens, you have to say something. You can't just, cower down and think that worse is going to happen to you. You have to say something. And then, like the Vagos, they're in Arlington. Obviously, they cause trouble. They're a gang. But
it
AOD
seems
has
like
tried-
how you're wording this, that Arlington is somehow lesser on the priority list than what the county is. How is that fair to the police officers of Arlington, the boy in blue right here in front of you?
I think we tackle a lot in Arlington. I mean, we specifically had this press conference in Arlington because we wanted to also address issues in Arlington. There's a couple of, we were at the grand opening for the nightclub. We went to the grand opening for the firehouse. So we're actively trying to, get ways for, businesses to come to Arlington. That is one of our priorities. But, you have AOD, they're causing trouble across the whole state, whether that's in the county or down here. I mean, they've chased us in the city.
I mean, don't officers work throughout the entire state? Doesn't Vagos also transport drugs throughout the entire state? Why are we only focusing on AOD? Because I'm tired of holding back. As a member of AOD myself, I feel pretty targeted, and I haven't done anything myself. And we don't act unless we're provoked, and that's what's been going on. Is law enforcement's been provoking us, and I think a lot of the people over here that have their hands up probably feel the same way.
Okay, and that's fine. Like everyone has the right to their own opinion. But from what I've seen is a lot of crime activity, especially a lot of violence, has came from AOD. Whether you believe that or not, that is perfectly fine. Whether you feel
but
that
you
or
haven't
not,
actually looked into that crime to see what started that crime. See, you haven't looked into the wrongful warrants and stuff that's been placed on
crime is crime, sir. Crime is crime. It doesn't matter if it's crime that you may not consider crime. If it's crime, it's crime. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. If officers, deem it as a crime or it's a crime that
I am pressing the governor right now.
That's on them. Like I said, you can take it to
He's
court
gotten.
if they're
You can hear the tone of his
wrongfully
voice change
but
right
I'm
now.
not going to interfere in department investigations or court cases to maybe help out whatever your issues are. I can hear your issues. I can talk with you about it. I can see what I can do. But like I said, there's no promises about corrupt law enforcement. That's what the DOJ is for. Just like if someone wanted to take you to court for assault, that's what the DOJ is for. So.
And for my final statement, and I'll be done after this. When you were running for governor, and I myself voted for you, you declared that you were going to make change. But what change have you actually made? What have you done to make the citizens of Tarrant County, Texas, any safer than what we were before? In fact, I believe, due to how you're allowing law enforcement officers to act, you have made it more unsafe, as the AOD has become the sole protectors of the state now.
Next.
See, everyone here, he can't address a question, so now he's got to shut it down.
I addressed like 4 of your questions, and then you wanted to make statements about my, my positions or what I've done in
And
office.
you're letting my
This
words
isn't
get
a
to
time-
you. You're letting
this
my
isn't a
words
time
get
for
to
you to
you,
make-
and now
No,
you're
I'm
getting
not.
upset, and
I
it's showing a lot
answered
now.
I answered 4 of your questions. I think that's reasonable. And then you wanted to make a couple statements, and that's fine.
I have a statement,
go
Mr.
ahead.
Governor.
I think it's...
I just wanted to say that, are you able to hear me?
Yeah. You're over to
Respectfully-
the... You're in the mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Respectfully from Devil's Disciples, I wanted to, say we always had a working relationship between the government and law enforcement, and I want to say we appreciate the not categorizing us with, other groups and factions that you have mentioned. And that's really all I wanted to say to you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Next question, if anyone has anything.
Sir, how are you gonna, do you have a plan to stop Vago from importing all these drugs and spreading them across the state?
Right, so great question. So, my team, we are, like I said, we're always looking into criminal activity that's happening across the state. It really starts with, we've got to figure out how they're importing these drugs, where they're getting these drugs from. We got to get to the root of the problem. If we don't get to the root of the problem, we're never going to fix the problem. We can go in and, law enforcement can arrest a few individuals from the Vagos, but if we're not getting to the root of the problem, we're never going to fix it. So we're actively looking into that. I know law enforcement is always looking into that stuff, but my office, we're looking into how we can, sort of, help.
And when you say like the ready crime family, this is my buddy Antonio Moretti right here. He's no criminal. It's just a chain of business owners, a company.
Okay,
I
well,
feel like this is Italian American discrimination.
I think it's time for a new governor.
You can feel any way that you want. I'm not discriminating against you guys. I think, in fact, I've, been told that people in your specific organization have actually been arrested for trying to bribe the fire chief to not inspect their buildings. So, that's one of the reasons why your family was mentioned.
We all make mistakes sometimes. One crime doesn't make us a bad person.
You're right.
He's just going off what he was told. He has no evidence.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions?
When's re-elections?
I have no idea. That is a question for not me.
Raymond, you got anything else to say?
I don't. Unless anybody else has any questions.
I have a question for the Lieutenant Governor.
Yes, sir. And can you put your hand up so I know who I'm speaking to, please?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yes, sir. Sorry, I just couldn't see you.
So since you're new here, what plans do you have of your own that haven't been addressed yet?
So some of the plans that I have that I want to start working with law enforcement inclusively, as well as trying to see how the drug departments are going to be going, drug enforcement. I want to start working with them on mostly in Arlington, despite the AOD situation. I know there's a lot of drug trafficking in Arlington that I want to start working around. Working with law enforcement as well as fire department, doing more community outreach programs, such as going to, visiting the businesses that we have open here, as well as visiting fire departments, police stations, things like that. Got one more question over here all the way to the left.
Mr. Governor, why are you putting your attention towards small crimes, like, you're saying, like bribing people? when there are real issues on the street like gun crime, drugs, while women, children are getting hurt on the street by this issue of imports and exports. Why aren't you putting your attention towards that?
And what steps are you going to take to fix this?
Small crime turns into big crime. We both know that.
We both know that the prisons are getting filled with criminals that are doing small time stuff, like fucking possession. When people are out here posting on Facebook about selling guns, what are you gonna do about that?
I can
Because
hear it in
seems like
Lane's
you're doing
voice.
nothing.
He's upset. He's getting over this.
Post on Facebook about selling guns all day
Dude,
long does not mean
I pressed him with like 5 questions straight, and they were all valid stuff.
I can't go out and make an arrest of somebody, but all I can tell you is that crime is crime. Whether it is, driving a law enforcement officer or driving a fire chief or shooting somebody.
What about wrongful arrest? What about that? What about the government officials doing that to us?
I don't understand what else you want me to tell you, sir. I've told you that if you have unlawful arrest or you've been wrongfully arrested or detained or something like that, you have to take that to the DOJ and get a court case. There's nothing else I can do for you.
But you're not taking steps yourself to fix this, as you so-called pledged when running.
Taxpayer dollars. Alex, I'm about to run you over.
Taxpayers' dollars hard at work, huh? Fucking taxpayers' dollars at work. Slow down. Stop.
What do you need
Don't
fixing?
drink and
Well, we
drive.
brought him up through this entire conference. Wrongful arrest, drug trafficking. I mean, those are two of the examples that were brought up, and you're just like, hey, pass them off to these people. I think it's time for an impeachment. I'm done with this.
Okay. Well, you have a good day.
I guess
Yeah, you
we're
can
asking
screw
what
off.
steps you're gonna take to stop the imports, exports, or children getting their hands.
Government's over me. Awesome. Awesome to know that entire press conference was just to address AOD, and if no civilian had any questions, then no other issues would have been brought up. That's awesome to know. Now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna idle my engine, because I know they can hear my engine all the way up there.
Trying to get Benji's reaction here.
Benji said it was fucking. Oh, you crashed actually. It's not even him.
Oh,
It's not
dude.
even in there. Take his car.
Is this fucking vehicle open?